Hello and welcome to the latest interview for JLife. And I'm delighted and pleased to be talking to our Manchester Magazine accountancy guru, Murray Patt from Alexander Knight. How are you doing?
Yeah, I'm good. I'm good considering what's going on in the world. But yeah, I'm fine. How's things with you?
We're okay, thank you. We're getting by. Looks like you're in a very quiet office. Are you the only one in today?
I am. Everybody in my organisation has been working from home since we went into lockdown. Whenever that was that middle of March, end of March?
Yeah.
So the offices have since then. The offices have been kitted out with all PPE stuff. So you might be able to see in the background we've got screens, sneeze screens, etc. But yeah, just me on my own, me, myself, and I.
Able to get some work done anyway, I suppose.
So yeah.
We mentioned briefly there the COVID-19 pandemic and things have changed a lot in many industries. You're an accountancy practice serving small and medium-sized businesses. Tell us how it's affected you and how it's affected them.
Well, probably if I talk about the clients that we look after, so we look after owner managed businesses across the north of England, and some of those clients are in sectors that have had a direct hit as a result of the pandemic, i.e. those in hospitality, etc. Other clients actually are doing incredibly well. And it's interesting. The ones that are doing well are those that have an internet presence and sell, let's say, widgets on the internet, whereas those that obviously are in hospitality are struggling. So as a firm, we've tried to update our clients on a regular basis with everything that's going on. And what I mean by that is a lot of the government support, highlighting to clients what it means to them and how they should perhaps try to take advantage of the support that's available. And it's, there's been lots going on. The buzzwords are challenging times, unprecedented events, and all that sort of stuff. But I'm afraid it is true. It is true. And all I'd say to businesses and business owners is you've just got to try and find a way of getting through the other side of this stuff. Because once you get through the other side, you'll hopefully find that there'll be a positive spike in trade. And you may also find that you've got fewer competitors in your particular sector because others will fall by the wayside. So it's difficult for us as a firm. Moving to remote working made sense for the staff. We've got pretty new IT systems, so that move wasn't difficult at all. And to be honest, some of my staff have worked remotely because of, let's say, childcare issues for some time, and we've carried on providing services to those clients. But I suppose those services that we provide to the clients have increased because I've dealt with, let's say, countless questions about things called furlough. So nobody'd ever heard of furlough a few months ago. And now it's like one of those buzzwords, isn't it? Furlough.
The word existed before that.
No. And when it was first announced, everybody was like, "What? What is this?" And then obviously you have to get up to speed. And as a business owner, you have to see whether it's relevant to you. And obviously, as a business owner, but also somebody that advises clients, it's not just is it relevant to you, but also how can your clients take advantage of the opportunity that's available.
How have you been able to help people with the furlough scheme then? Obviously, you've been keeping them up to date with the many changes that have been happening over the 3 months.
Yeah, well, we've been sending out on a fairly regular basis to the client base as a whole details of, let's say, the government support, how the furlough scheme works, the changes to the furlough schemes, or there's a couple of loan schemes, bounce back loans and business interruption loan scheme. We've been updating our clients on those, but then taking that stage further, a number of clients have asked for our support in terms of actually making a claim for the furlough grant, in terms of calculating it or understanding how to calculate it. And then a number of other clients have asked for our support in terms of putting together business plans and forecasts for the business interruption loan scheme. So there's been lots of, so we've, again, as a firm of accountants, we've been trying to do, let's call it the day job, and the day job on people's accounts, audited accounts, management accounts, running people's payroll, but then tried to make sure that we provide those services that are really important now, which inevitably result in cash being injected into the business, and that will be the furlough or the loan schemes.
Yeah. So you as a business obviously have been busier than ever, I guess, because of that.
We have been really busy, and I've got to say some of that is due to luck, but in a lot of the time you make your own luck. You make your own luck. So a lot of our clients have needed, let's say, our services being carried out or continuing because they need to show their bank latest management accounts or audited accounts to help with their loan application. They need to continue to run their payroll, etc., etc., etc. So yeah, it has been a busy time, and I think putting, let's say, the financial aspects of that to one side, one of the issues we've all had with lockdown is trying to keep yourself busy. You can't just all sit in the garden in the sun and sunbathe. Well, some people can, but that's
part of the time.
Looks like you've been sitting in the sun quite a lot.
Well, I've tried. So in terms of the loans you mentioned there, a lot of businesses, including ours, have applied and been successful. It seemed a very easy process. But of course, they're worried about the long-term borrowing aspect. Like with any loan, we're going to have to pay it back. And it starts in a year, which, to be honest, in business isn't that long. How do you feel about all that?
Well, the two loans are slightly different. The bounce back loan scheme, which is probably the one you refer to, which is the simple one, that's 100% guaranteed by the government. So if anything, the risk is with the government as opposed to the company that takes the loan. Whereas the other loan scheme is 80% guaranteed by the government. But if I take a step back from that, for all of us, we need cash to get through this. So businesses don't fail because they're loss making. Businesses fail because they run out of cash. So the fact that business owners have taken loans from the government, and okay, they're interest free at the moment and repayments kick in 12 months. I think for a lot of businesses, on the basis you're running a viable organisation, you have to do that to get you through the other side. And then again, because the interest is covered by the government in the first 12 months, what you can do is just repay that loan when it before the repayment starts. Repay it in one go if you've got the cash there. But I do think for a lot of businesses, it's just a safety net, and it gives you the comfort that you've got cash there. But I also accept that business owners will worry about, how do I pay it back? As I said, the bounce back is guaranteed by the government anyway.
There's just a lot of uncertainty with many businesses not knowing how. In fact, they probably are okay at the moment because they've had some grant funding or a loan or whatever. But in 3-6 months' time, if business doesn't get back to where it should be, I think that's when the problems may start.
And I think that you're right. And I'd also like to think that the government will react to that if they need to. So the furlough scheme, as an example, I've got to say, I didn't think it would get up and running as quickly as it has. And I certainly didn't think that businesses would receive their grant monies so soon. But it's credit to the government. They've got it up and running and it's paying out. So I do think that they will react to matters, if things escalate. But you can only deal with the here and now.
Yeah. Do you offer any services to private individuals? Because obviously we do have lots of readers who might not have a business and might just want some advice on certain aspects of finance.
Yeah, well, again, as a firm, we have I'd call it a top-heavy tax department, because for a fairly small practice, so we employ around about 15 people. We've got quite a few people that specialise in tax. So we recognise that everybody wants tax advice, be it business owners or individuals. So we're available to provide that sort of advice as well. But I also say to people is, generally we are best placed to advise you if you run a trading business, because the advice that we give you through your trading business will link into perhaps what goes on your self-assessment return, and therefore we're the right people to complete your company accounts, but also your tax return.
Okay, great. When did you start trading? 'Cause it's been a real sort of success story, hasn't it?
Well, again, I go back to you kind of, sometimes it's luck, but you do make your own luck. So we started just short of 10 years ago. And again, my background is, funny enough, I'm not from the north. I don't know if you can tell that, but I've not been trained. Wasn't brought up in the north, so that's why I probably don't sound like you. But again, I've been an accountant, a partner in a couple of very well-known practices in the northwest, and then after doing, let's call it, time there, I set up on my own, and I'm pleased that the practice here is I've been joined by lots of my former colleagues from past life, and also many of the clients I look after, I've looked after for a lot longer than Alexander Knight have been going. So in other words, from past life as well.
Good. Well, it's been good to speak to you. Just finally, just tell everybody how they can get a hold of you if they want to find out more about what you can offer.
Yeah, well, sure. So the website is www.alexanderknightaccountants.co.uk. There's a form there, contact us form. You can use that, or failing that, you can always get me on my mobile 07767 223 093, or the email address is Murray, MURRAY, Murray at alexanderknightaccountants.co.uk.
Great.
Thanks for allowing me to have a chat with you.
Yeah, absolutely. It's been interesting, good insight in the current situation, and obviously some good advice for small businesses and private individuals. So, thanks very much for joining us.
Pleasure. Catch you soon.
Bye now.